We're going to start by finding the volume of the cone on the left. The formula is 1/3 times pi times the radius squared times the height. So we can look at the picture. The radius is halfway across the center of the circle. That's 8. The height of the cone is 11. So I'm going to take those values and just put it into the formula. So V, or the volume, is going to equal 1/3 times 3.14, because we are still using 3.14 for pi. That's a good enough representation or approximation. Times 8 squared times 11. Note that 1/3 is the same thing as 1 divided by 3. Don't put 3 in your calculator. Do 1 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 8 squared times 11. You can do all that in one step. And when you do, we're going to get a volume that's about, let's get rid of that, a volume is about equal to 736.85, and that's rounded to the nearest hundredths, and that's going to be centimeters cubed. The next question, we are given that the volume is 445 cubic inches, and we're trying to look for the radius. And it looks like that the height is 17 from the picture, so let's plug in what we know. The volume, or V, is 445. That equals 1/3. We're still using 3.14 for pi. We are looking for the radius, so we don't know what that is. So times radius squared times the height, which is 17. I would probably recommend let's multiply everything by 3 now, both sides by 3, just to get rid of the 1/3, make it a little bit cleaner so we're not rounding too early. So we're going to do 3 times 445, and 3 times 1/3 over here. That'll cancel out on the right side, and we're going to be left with 3.14 times the radius squared times 17. 3 times 445 is 1335. Now I'm going to simplify the right side. 3.14 times 17 is 53.38. And the opposite or inverse of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide both sides by 53.38. And that gives us about 25.001. I'm sorry, 25.01 or 009. And that's going to be r squared. And then we take the square root, and that's going to give us a really close answer to 5 there. So our radius is about equal to 5. And for this last question, we don't know the height, so we're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We'll call this side A and B. The c, the hypotenuse, is always across from the 90-degree angle. So we can say that 12 squared plus b squared equals 20 squared. Square both of the numbers first, so 12 times 12 is 144. 20 squared, 20 times 20 is 400. Now we get rid of the stuff that's on the same side of the letter, but not touching it. That's a positive 144, so the opposite is to subtract 144 on both sides. That gives us b squared equals 256. Now we can put in our known values. Remember that 1/3 means 1 divided by 3, not 0.33. So 1/3 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 12. So we're going to square that number. Times 16, that's the height, that's what we found there with B. 12 squared means 12 times 12, so we have 144. And if you put all that, the calculator in one step, you're going to end up with 2411.52 inches cubed. And if you have any questions, ask your math teacher.